Hello, 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 good people. Hello, good people. I am Dr. Hollie Kelly. This is Dr. Kelly's perspective for Thursday, March 7th. And it is a thoughtful Thursday again. It is Thoughtful Thursday where I share books or podcasts or articles that have made a difference for me. So I have a good one for you. Hey, Bridget, and I think I saw Elliot. Hey, Ty. So hello, thank you for all who are joining me. Now, this is an old book, and and some or many may have already read it, but this is what I learned. First of all, just because I can think of something, and this is what would stop me all the time. I would say, everybody knows that. Why would I say that? For years I thought, what do you have to say to anybody? Because everybody already knows what you know. An agreement that I had made with myself until I broke the agreement. And so today's book is Don Miguel Ruiz's The Four Agreements. It is a tiny little book. I mean, really super short. Not even, oh my goodness, it's not even 200 pages. It's 140 pages. And that's all the way to the back. Okay, so The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, and tiny, powerful book. Now, my oldest brother, Dr. Michael Imani, is a reader. Like, he makes me look like a inchworm. So years ago, he dropped this book as a one-liner to me. And when I first got it, and here's the caveat, some of you may be thrown off because he teaches about Toltec wisdom. And so if you're thrown off by what may seem like mysticism, then you're going to miss the whole point of the Four Agreements. What he says basically is that all of us have made agreements with ourselves. We've made agreements with our society, our family, our siblings, our parents, our children, our God. We've made agreements, and then we operate in life with those agreements. Even if we weren't making them consciously, we have made agreements, and those agreements tell us, okay, this is who I am. This is what I can do in life. This is my dream. This is right. This is wrong. This is what I believe. Okay, so they operate in our life, and we operate according to our agreements. As a matter of fact, he says, subtitle is A Practical Guide to Personal Freedom. So the four agreements are: the number one, be impeccable with your word. Be impeccable with your word. And what he says is that, well, read the book. I'm not going to tell you everything he says, but I highlighted a couple of things. He tells this story, and you know this to be the truth, that first of all, God created everything with his spoken word. So there's power because we're created in his image. But he tells the story of a mother who came home from a hard day's work. This is just truth. We've all been there. You come home from a hard day's of work. You had a stressful day. Your patience was about as long as a gnat's butt. So you didn't have any patience for anything. You come home. This daughter is singing. She's singing all over the place, and she's loud, and she's dancing around. And it was just a little too much. And the mom says, shut up with that horrible voice of yours. Shut up. Well, as a child, Don Miguel Ruiz says, we take on those agreements, not voluntarily, but they're like in our DNA from our role models. And so because she was not impeccable with her words, her daughter's life changed. She stopped singing. She stopped even almost speaking because those words spoken to her were taken personally. he does a much better job than what I just did with that synopsis. But the first agreement that we must make with ourselves and make a habit, be impeccable with your word. Even the words that you speak to yourself, speak to integrity. My highest character value for me personally is integrity. And so speak with that. His second agreement, don't take anything personally. Everything that someone else does is never about you. It's not about you. It is a projection of where they are in life. I've said before, we only see from the position we're standing in. We only see from the position that we stand in. And so when people say things, when people do things, that's about them more than you. But so once we can understand that, life begins to shift. He says his third agreement, okay, be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Third agreement, don't make assumptions. Now, this one, that's why I have this page highlighted. This one made me really think, and this is to me one of the most powerful statements in the book. All the sadness and drama you have ever lived in your life was rooted in making assumptions and taking things personally. And then he actually says, take a moment to consider the truth of this statement. Don't make assumptions. And sometimes, so often, we operate, even if you've been married 50 years, we get into the habit of assuming that you knew what this person was going to do or say. We do that with our coworkers. We do that with our children, our spouses, our teammates, our, colleagues, our church friends. Instead of specifically checking out the situation, we make assumptions. And he says, if you ever want to be free, personally free, to live your life, this is one you need to work on. Don't make assumptions. Check it out. And then your last one is, the last agreement is always do your best. Those are 4 simple, not easy to live. Again, you can make your mouth say anything. So they're not easy to live out, but if you really take them and apply. Now, this book, I will tell you specifically in the Toltec wisdom part, because he talks about black magic and white magic and casting spells. And so I remember, and I've had the book for years now, that sort of threw me off, and I put it down for a while until I picked it back up and took the 4 agreements for what they were, for what they can be in my life. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally, because it's not about you. People are coming from their perspective. They're speaking and they're seeing and they're doing and they're behaving from where they stand, which is why I always tell us, expose yourself. You have to be exposed to more to even be able to think more. Too many of us were born, bred, will live and die in one spot, with one mindset, with one group of friends, and life has passed us by. We must expand ourselves, and then don't take anything personally. Third one, don't make assumptions. I really, really, really want you to think into that phrase, that all of life's sadness and dreams you've lived in your life is rooted in making assumptions and taking things personally. Because and then I said, well, some things are true. I didn't have to assume it. Some things are true. Even if it was true, you took it personally and presumed that it was all about you that it happened. It was all about you that things didn't happen. It was all about you that the merger failed, that the child failed, that the marriage failed. It was all about you. When in reality, if we do not take that and change the agreement that we've made with ourselves about everything, when you change the agreements that you make about yourself and then keep these 4 agreements in place, he says that's when you will come out and come out of the personal hells that so many of us live and operate in, that We become emotional trash cans for other people. And no one in an emotional trash can that lives like that. Whatever people say to you, whatever they dump on you, you just keep on accepting it. No one can be free if we live like that. So, Thoughtful Thursday's book choice of the week, Don Miguel Ruiz, 4 Agreements. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Good afternoon, Isaac. The 3rd agreement, don't make assumptions. And the 4th agreement, always do your best. He does a phenomenal job of reminding us that your best will change from day to day. My best, because of how I'm designed, my best is always going to be in the morning. So my best at night doesn't look anything halfway like it does in the morning. When you're hungry, when you're tired, your best change, but always do your best. And so I am hopeful that you might pick this up and do not be thrown off if you're not into, I don't like mysticism and I'm not trying to go into myth. Okay, if you can overlook that and just get to the 4 agreements and understand that you have made and are operating from agreements that you've made with yourself. Those are the most powerful. That we make agreements with all those around us. When you shift the agreements to those 4, you're opening the door for you to live your personal best. Okay, that's my review, but excellent book when you can live into them. That's what makes the book so powerful and life-changing. 40 different languages it's been translated into around the world. And the backstory is even better. Okay, I don't have time for the backstory of how the book came to be. Anyway, that is my choice for this week. I am hopeful that if you read it, that you'll let me know that you're enjoying it or not. I'll take it all. And until next time, take real good care of yourselves.